More scenes like this repeated over and over and over again. But it begs the damn question, what the hell's going on in the United States of America? What the hell's wrong with us?
Breaking news at 6 o'clock, a tragedy at a VTA rail yard in San Jose. 9 people are dead after a gunman opens fire and then turns the gun on himself.
And Governor Newsom was joining local law enforcement this afternoon, calling for stricter nationwide gun control.
Good evening. I'm Ken Wayne.
And I'm Catherine Heenan. 8 innocent people were killed this morning in that shooting at the VTA rail yard. It's just steps away from the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Training Center and very close to the San Jose Police Department. The shooter then turning the gun on himself.
We're getting our first look at the gunman. He has been identified as 57-year-old Sam Cassidy. He was a VTA employee, but so far no motive has been given for the attack.
And we just got this surveillance video into the KRON 4 newsroom a short time ago. You're looking at the view from a security camera at the home of one of the gunman's neighbors, looking across the street. That's him. That's the gunman getting into that white pickup truck and loading at least one duffel bag into the truck. And then apparently from that point, heading to his workplace.
This was the last he was seen before the shooting erupted. Also, we have just got this video in a short time ago. This shows the gunman's house where you just saw that truck. Now the house on fire after he left. This happened just a few minutes after the shooting was called in. Calls came in about a suspicious house fire in southeast San Jose on Angmar Court. That's near the Los Lagos golf course.
We have team coverage tonight of the shooting. We're going to begin first with KRON 4's Dan Kerman.
KRON 4's Dan Kerman joins us now live from the command post that's been set up outside the county administration building in San Jose. A very somber, distressing day, Dan.
Indeed, and still plenty of more questions than there are answers. As you mentioned, we still don't have a motive. At least law enforcement isn't releasing one if they know it. We can tell you that there were more than 40 VTA employees in that building when the gunfire erupted. As you mentioned, 8 dead. The shooter, a 9th, also dead. Another VTA employee critical. As you mentioned, police and sheriff's officials located very close to this situation and stormed into the building. We've seen all those situations where gunfire erupts, and oftentimes you see law enforcement staying outside awaiting to get in. That's not what happened here. They are being hailed today as heroes and rescuing many of those people's lives that were in there. Again, more than 40 VTA employees in there at the time of the shooting. They held a news conference a little bit earlier today. Here are some of those highlights.
At 6:34 in the morning, Santa Clara County Communications received 911 phone calls of a shots fired call in the area of 101 West Younger Avenue.
The deputy sheriffs from the sheriff's office, the officers from San Jose Police Department ran into the building while shots were being fired, and I know that it saved many lives.
We have 8 victims that are pronounced deceased from today's incident from gunshot wounds. We also have 1 suspect who is deceased as well from this morning's incident. I can confirm with you that deputies did not exchange gunfire, and right now we're going to preliminary go with the assumption that it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound from the suspect.
And I know for sure that when the suspect knew the law enforcement was there, he took his own life.
On top of the fatalities that I mentioned, there is 1 person at a local trauma hospital that is listed in critical condition at this point.
It's a very sizable crime scene. We are currently in there looking at how we need to go and how we need to process that. That is also going to take some time.
There's an explosives detection dog, an EOD dog is what we call, that detected on a suspicious device. Immediately we activated the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office bomb squad, and they're going to use their protocol and pretty much canvass that whole area to ensure that it's safe for our investigators to go in and conduct their investigation at that point. So it's going to be a very timely, methodical. We're going to be there throughout the night to clear every room and every crevice of that building.
Now, these investigations take a long time because they identified some sort of explosive, or because the bomb dog did. This is going to take even longer because, as he mentioned, they've got to clear through the building, make sure it is safe for investigators to get in before they process the evidence at that scene. But again, at this point, no motive. 8 people dead, a 9th is the shooter, 1 person remaining in critical condition. Many of the victims' families are still waiting to find out about their loved ones. Live in San Jose, Dan Kerman, KRON 4 News.
Yeah, Dan, getting back to those explosive devices and where they're located. So our understanding is this is a large facility where the rail cars would come in, and that's where there were people that would work on them and that kind of thing. So it's a big, giant kind of warehouse. And somewhere in there, the dogs alerted to some kind of potentially explosive devices. So this could go on for hours, trying to figure out where those items might be. Is that what's going on?
Exactly. The facility is very large. They're trying to map it out at this point, and they've been doing that most of the day. They found what they believe is an explosive device in one location. As you know, the shooting took place in at least 2 different locations in this facility. So it's unclear whether the gunman may have put explosive devices in various places or just in one place or what. So that's why they've got to go through this facility and clear it first and then do the actual processing of the scene. They've got to make sure that it's safe for those to get in to actually do that investigative work. And again, they have to make sure that any sort of explosives have cleared before that happens.
Dan Kerman joining us live from San Jose with the latest on what's happening at the scene there. Dan, thank you very much. Meantime, Governor Newsom, he also went to San Jose after word of the shooting to meet with the VTA families who've been waiting for word on the status of their loved ones.
Yeah, and as Dan said, some of them are still waiting. During a news conference following the meeting, the governor decried the ever-increasing gun violence in this country.
It just feels like this happens over and over and over again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It wasn't that long ago I was standing out here talking about the tragic loss of children, one in a mother's arms, the Gilroy Festival. All of us gathered here today, looking at this scene, listening to governors, mayors, chiefs, speaking similar tone and terms, expression of condolences, all the right emotions and perhaps the right words, but it begs the damn question, what the hell's going on in the United States of America? What the hell's wrong with us? And when are we going to come to grips with this? When are we going to put down our arms, literally and figuratively?
A vigil is planned tomorrow to honor the victims killed. It will be held at 6 p.m. at San Jose City Hall Plaza. You see the address there on your screen. Mayor Sam Liccardo and other city leaders will be there.
It has, of course, been a long, anxiety-filled day for people wanting details about their loved ones who work at VTA. KRON 4 has been there for hours, right across from all of the VTA employees were moved after the tragedy.
And that's where we find KRON 4's Rob Flattabo. And Rob, I know you were able to catch up with a man looking for his wife who works at the VTA. What are you hearing from people?
Well, for the moment, Catherine, we're awaiting official word on the identity of the victims, but that has yet to come. VTA is out with a statement within the hour saying that the family members have been moved from the reunification site here at the Government Center to a Red Cross Family Assistance Center, where they continue to await word from the coroner, who of course is in charge of the notification of next of kin. But I can tell you, having spent several hours here this afternoon, there was raw emotion on display here earlier today as family and friends awaited some kind of word, any kind of word about their loved ones. Here's more. This was the chaotic scene as hundreds of traumatized VTA workers streamed into the county government center, serving as a reunification center where they would be briefed on what exactly happened this morning and then reconnected with their families. Awaiting word from his wife, a VTA mechanic, was Michael Hawkins.
Well, I got a message from, she left a message from a co-worker's phone saying that she was okay. She dropped her phone, and that was all I heard from there. So now I'm here to find out what's going on.
Understandably reluctant to share details as they left the building, most of the evacuated workers left without comment. It was a grim scene inside, said Santa Clara County District Attorney Jeff Rosen.
It's very raw. People are grieving. They're learning that they've lost their husband, their brother, their son, and it's awful. It's absolutely awful. And you know, a couple years ago we had similar scenes when there was a shooting in Gilroy, and several people were killed and dozens were wounded, and the same things happen to us again.
Also awaiting word about a good friend who works at the rail yard was San Jose City Councilman Raul Perales.
Extremely tragic, heartbreaking, you know, to hear this news this morning. I personally have a friend who was in the building that attends those union meetings, so, you know, hitting very, very close to home today.
Off camera, a departing worker relayed unconfirmed reports describing the shooter as a disgruntled employee, but could not say whether the man had lost his job. Also on hand to show solidarity with his fellow union members was Teamsters representative Ray Torres.
Disgruntled employee, I don't know. But hearing some stuff, and I mean, nothing's confirmed, right? That it was an ex-employee. So don't know any more details outside of that. Just our thoughts and prayers go out, and we're here in support. Any of the members, or you know, anybody, they need anything, they can count on the Teamsters. We're here to support.
To be clear, Mr. Torres represents Teamsters, which represents bus drivers. It's not clear if there were any drivers among the victims over at the rail yard, which is largely a maintenance facility. Also, a couple of other things to share with you here. I have yet to hear back from Councilman Perales following the 5 o'clock hour, when he expressed to me that he was very pessimistic at the time that his good friend was among the survivors. And also the VTA statement I referenced earlier said that as of about 4:30 this afternoon, bomb sniffing dogs were still going around all of VTA's facilities in search of possible explosives. But that's the latest here in San Jose. Ken, Catherine, back to you.